because they did not inform the national office about it. There's been a decision taking now. This statement coming through from the NDC. This is Fifi Kwete, who was the General Secretary of the party, who issued this statement not too long ago. It came through minutes ago. Take a look at this. It says about the withdrawal of the NDC parliamentary candidate of the Assin Central, Nuruddin Shaibu Mijima. This is what the latest is. That at its meeting held on Tuesday, that's today, July 2nd, 2024, the Functional Executive Committee considered the letter originating from the NDC, that's the Secretary of the Central Region NDC, purporting to withdraw the party's candidate for the Assin Central constituency for the 2024 general elections and refer his alleged immoral act or conduct to the Regional Disciplinary Committee for further action. Also, it continues that the regional chairman, Professor Richard Asiedu, is hereby suspended as regional chairman for 1 month, effective immediately, and is referred to the National Disciplinary Committee of the party on a charge of anti-party conduct. So this is one of the major highlights. The chairman of the Ashanti Regional NDC has been suspended for 1 month. The second one, the constituency secretary of the Assin Central constituency of the NDC is hereby suspended also for 1 month and referred to the National Disciplinary Committee on the charge of anti-party conduct. 3, the letter originating from the Secretariat of the Central Region NDC purporting to withdraw the candidacy of the said Assin Central candidate, Comrade Mijima, and further suspending his membership of the party is null and void and stands withdrawn. So they've quashed that earlier decision by these two persons who have been suspended for 1 month. Also, Comrade Mijima remains the NDC parliamentary candidate for Assin Central constituency for the upcoming general elections in December 2024. So that's the verdict of the National Executive Committee of the NDC after they met today on this issue that happened in the Assin Central constituency. The two persons who took that decision to have the candidacy of Comrade Mijima withdrawn because of this alleged immoral act have been suspended for 1 month as per this communication from the NDC. So this is a letter that came through not too long ago, and in fact we're keeping tabs on it as well. And also we understand that these two persons involved were in this said meeting. They were summoned by the National Executive of the NDC earlier today, and my colleague Noble Crosby-Annan, who was at the NDC headquarters earlier today. In fact, this decision was communicated just some 1 hour, just about an hour ago. We got this information. So that's the decision coming through right now, that indeed that's the Central Regional Chair of the NDC plus the Regional Secretary have both been suspended for 1 month. That's the information coming through right now as a result of that decision they took to withdraw the parliamentary candidate for the Assin Central constituency. Well, let's take a look at this, because my colleague Noble Crosby-Annan, who was there just about an hour ago, the NDC headquarters, before this decision was taken, came through this evening. Take a look.
Well, allegations of an affair between the National Democratic Congress parliamentary candidate for Assin Central, Nuruddin Shaibu Mijima, and the wife of the party's constituency secretary sparked a wave of outrage within the ranks of the party. Now, the scandal, which involves allegations of illicit relations, has thrown the NDC Central Regional Secretariat into the spotlight as it grappled with the fallout from the incident. In response to the allegations, the NDC Central Regional Functional Executive Committee of the party has suspended Mijima after investigations into the reported misconduct, citing immoral acts and anti-party conduct as grounds for his withdrawal as the 2024 Assin Central parliamentary candidate. This decision did not sit well with the national executive of the party. They have been in a meeting with the national leadership of the party, and that meeting just ended. It was over the withdrawal of Nuruddin Shaibu Mijima as the party's Assin Central parliamentary candidate. Now, the leadership of the NDC on Friday, June 28, had summoned the Central Regional Chairman over the letter withdrawing Shaibu Mijima's candidature, raising issues that it breached due process. This meeting happened behind closed doors and had almost all top national executives of the party present, including some other leaders of the party as well as some executives of the NDC in the Central region. Outside Professor Joshua Labi, the chairman of the party, Asiedu Nketia, Fifi Kwekwe, the General Secretary, Alex Egbefia, Madi Jiboro Samit, the National Communications Officer of the party, they are also around. Well, as the NDC deals with the aftermath of this scandal, questions loom for what action the party will take and subsequent repercussions, if any. Noble Crosby and NDC headquarters, Accra.
That was our report earlier by my colleague Noble Crosby. And let's go on Zoom quickly. And Mustafa Gbande is the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC and is joining us on Zoom. Mustafa, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us here on Ghana Tonight.
Good evening, and thank you, Alfred, for having me.
Perfect. Now, this decision, obviously, when that earlier decision by these two persons who have been suspended for 1 month was communicated, there were some persons who backed that decision because of the allegations against the parliamentary candidate in the Assin Central constituency. So how are you going to ensure that everybody abides by the National Executive Committee's decision and not also create some cracks within the party in that constituency?
Well, thank you very much. Basically, I believe that pursuant to the letter of the Secretary, we have been a meeting today of which the issues were perused. Generally speaking, the center of discussion was as to whether such a decision could have been taken by a regional body without recourse to the National Executive Committee. And as such, I believe that the decision was taken after the conversation. Now, the center of it is to try and bring sanity, to try and make sure that there are procedural compliances as far as administering the party is concerned. And so, for me, it is not the matter of whether or not there were factions who, believed in the decision or stood by the decision of the region. We have not even gotten into the merits of the case yet. We have not given the accused person, be the PC, a hearing. He has the right to be heard, and he has the right to give his side of the story, as well as whoever the complainant is would also be given the opportunity to, present a case. I believe that we will get there. But in the meantime, these actions are around the issue of usurping the authority of the Non-Executive Committee in order to bring fidelity to compliances into structural authority. That is why we are where we are. I believe that when finally the General Secretary sends the decision in terms of a written statement to the public, it will explain the intricacies of all of these matters.
This is a constituency, Mustafa, that you have Kennedy Ohene Japan there as the candidate of the MPP in the Assin Central constituency. But if you look at the 2020 elections, yes, your candidate now, who was at the center of this controversy, had a good showing. I mean, bridging the gap in terms of the vote difference to a considerable, about 5,000 thereabout or so. So with all of this, how is that constituency really going to play out? And do you think you're going to make any substantial impact in the Assin Central constituency with Kennedy Ohene Japan still there?
Well, I want to believe that the seat is one that is ripe to be won by the NDC.
Really?
with that particular parliamentary candidate. And for me, we will all one way or the other run into accusations of morality, but it doesn't diminish the trust of the people as a result of character. The ability of the parliamentary candidate to break the vote was basically because of his personality, because of character. And we cannot ostracize an individual just on mere allegation. As I said, from where I sit, we are yet going to go into the issues to determine whether or not whatever allegation was leveled against the parliamentary candidate is found or unfounded, and whether or not it's enough to affect his chances of winning. I don't see how multi-accusations can lead somebody not to be able to exercise their leadership role. And I don't also think the region's decision was based on bad faith. I think that in their opinion, they were taking a decision in the glare of the news to salvage the public image of the party.
Right.
And so that's where I believe that the region stands. But I don't think that this is going to affect our chances of winning the constituency. The party will still put itself together. We have executives there. Whatever it is, the region would have to oversee and ensure that that constituency is put together. And then we'll go to the ground as humans and put ourselves together in readiness to win that seat. We all know, and projections have shown that the NDC is winning the Assin Central seat in 2024 election, and that chance will not slip. That was not based because they had these things would not come up. It was because they believe that there must be a change in that constituency, and so that change is effectively going to happen.
Well, and in the next 5 months, we'll see how things will play out in that constituency, Assin Central constituency. Thank you so much.